Chapter 6. Time marches on. Time. We are given so little of it. Is it more precious because we do not know how much we are given? Then what of love? When someone says they love us with all their hearts, how much is that? We have no choice but to put our faith in time, and we have no choice but to put our trust in love. Yet people die and hearts break every day. Weeks went by, and I found myself smiling more. The days seemed shorter, and I longed for them to come again. Amber hardly ever spoke of her past, but that was okay, because I was more invested in who she was now. We would spend the upcoming holidays together laughing and living in the moment, and for once, time no longer stood still. Every moment mattered. It was on a Wednesday that Amber's phone rang. We had rented a movie and we were just about to sit and enjoy our snacks when the light from her cell phone revealed a face I was unfamiliar with.
Excuse me? I need to use your phone. I have to call the school. My daughter is waiting for me to pick her up today. It's her birth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready or not, here I come. Now where, oh where could Julie be? Is she behind the curtains? Or maybe she's under the table. My goodness, I just can't seem to find her. I wonder if it has anything to do with these little tiny feet sticking out of this blanket. I could never bring myself to understand how anyone could see such a wonderful gift and decide to hurt it, to ignore it, to give it away. All I wanted was to give her the best birthday gift ever. The owner of the account I was writing checks for had passed a week before, and that's how they caught me. The questions came flooding in, but the only thing on my mind was getting home to my daughter.
You have the right to remain silent. Your daughter has already been picked up by child services. She's gonna be fine.
My heart sank lower than it had ever sunk. A knot formed in my throat, and reality began to set in. My heart was pounding. My hands were shaking. What had I done? A photo was placed down in front of me, and the officer proceeded to run down the list of charges that I would be convicted of.
I can't let you go, but I can help you to not lose your daughter. I just need your cooperation with something. This man has been on the run for 8, 9, 10.
I was still in a daze, but I managed to make out 10 years in foster care.
Was it shock? Was it sadness? She jumped up and headed out the door. I had never seen her get up this way. Curiosity would get the better of me as I proceeded to press my ear against the wall and try to listen in.
No, I haven't forgotten. I promise. I'll get what you want. I just need a little more time. Okay? Same spot? Can I talk to her? No, please, don't hang up. Hello? Hello?
I hurried back to my seat and I awaited her return. The door opened. In the past, she had gotten into the habit of not knocking and just letting herself in, usually followed by whistling or humming and that beautiful smile. Tonight, there was no humming. There was no smile. Her eyes had lost their sparkle and her face its glow. Before I could ask what was wrong,
I think I'm gonna head home. Thank you for the movie.
something didn't sit right with me that night. This was not the same girl that I had come to know. If she ever needed help, why wouldn't she just ask me? I could protect her. I would protect her. She would usually take the highway home, but this time she was headed toward the canals. She had parked her car outside a building I had never seen before or even cared to notice. She hurried inside, and I soon followed. She made her way inside the elevator, and then I counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, the 10th floor. I followed her to the top. There was a voice coming from the other side of the door. It was Amber, and I proceeded to listen in.
Yes, can you put me through to Lieutenant Winslow, please? This is Amber, calling regarding the Phillips case. Mr. Phillips? Mr. Phillips?
Here! I wasn't getting much sleep at home, so focusing on school was harder for me. I wanted to be smarter. I wanted to be smarter for her. I wanted to change our lives. I would try to pay attention in class even when the other kids would throw things at me and call me names. I wanted to give my mother the world, and I felt that if I could just bring her one A, she would believe again, believe in me, that I could take her away from this life of torment to a life full of happiness. I tried to gently nudge open the door, but it was so windy that the door had swung open. I stood there staring at her. Her face was almost pale in complexion. I stepped forward, but before I could speak a word, she dashed towards the ladder nearby and began climbing. I chased after her.
Leave me alone. Please, stay away from me. Don't come any closer. I'm so sorry.
She reached for another ladder. This time, I had managed to grab a hold of her leg. Please, wait. I felt her foot slam against my face and my grasp slipped. A warm sensation began to run down my nose, but I continued to follow her. Why was she running from me? We reached the top and there was nowhere left to go. She turned to face me, but her face was... She looked afraid. She was afraid. She was afraid of me. I reached out my hand toward her. I simply wanted to hold her, to let her know it was going to be okay.
I can't go to jail. I can't. Please, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I was just trying to be a good mother. I'm not a bad person, I swear I'm not. Please let me go.
Watch out for the ledge! It was Friday, and the teacher had started to give out test results. My heart was racing. The paper was falling, and it fell for an eternity. Time had never been my friend, and in that moment, I stood atop of time, yet time continued to march on.